So the K20 metering is used for theaters, where they can make very, very quiet recordings and turn the level up, the playback level up, really loud. Because if you make a really quiet recording, then you can turn the level up really loud, right? But if you make a really loud recording, then you have to turn your level, your playback levels down. And that's what we're doing with this one right here is we're actually making our recording much louder, but we're turning our playback levels down. For this calibration that I'm doing on my studio, and what I recommend for you to do is to use the K14. So this is K20, K14, and K12. And I'm going to use K14 as my mastering level for this studio. There's one last thing that I need to note before we move on. And that is, there was another thread that I saw, and someone had said, well, why can't I just do all of my mastering on in the mixing stage? So I have all of my channels mixed down into the buses and then have a final mix. Well, why can't I just plug my mastering effects into that last channel and just run the whole thing off all at once? The reason for this is there are actually two sides of the recording channel. The first side of the recording channel is where we work during the production process, during the recording and creation process. The second side is the mastering side. And so you have a pre-side and a post-side. And the difference between these is absolutely essential, because what I was saying here with the leveling, if you make a loud recording, then the people on the other side are going to turn their stereos down, right? But on the other hand, like with the theaters, if you make a really quiet recording, then on the other side, they turn it up. So when one side is turning things down, the other side is turning things up. And when that side is turning things down, our side is turning things up. So they actually work in mirror fashion. And so you have to be aware of this when you're setting the monitor levels, because the channels, that division in your recording process is right here on your channel faders. One half of them works one way, and one half of them works the other way. And when you make an adjustment to the levels or to the sound on the mastering on the master channels, on the stereo output channels, or on the monitors themselves, you actually have to do it opposite. You have to do the opposite of what you want the effect to be on your recording process. So, what this means is that if we turn the monitor levels down during this calibration, then our channel fader levels while we're recording are going to have to go up. We're going to have to jack those levels up because we're not hearing it as loud as we need to in our monitors. But if we turn our monitors down, or if we turn our monitors up, if we max our monitors out, for example, then we'll have to turn our faders down on the workstation so far down that they'll be like down, in the noise floor. And don't worry about the noise floor so much, especially when you're using 24-bit recording, okay? That's one thing that you've really got to get into your mind. It's very important. Don't worry about your levels that much. I think people freak out a little bit too much about it, especially at 24 bits. So that's what I am going to show you more when we're doing the calibration, is that you're going to notice the K20, K14, and K12 calibrated noise levels are actually at different volume levels, and it starts quiet at K20, and it gets louder and louder at K14 and K12. And when the noise level gets louder, your monitor levels go down. And when your monitor levels go down, your recording levels go up.